Listen, my friends, I had to pop on live here for a sec because there's something inside of me that I just got to share. Leave in the comments below where you're watching from. Man, I had somebody ask me, how do you become okay with not knowing how a campaign's going to turn out? How do you become okay with putting something out there and not knowing if it flubs up? How do you become okay with not knowing if something's going to produce results? And it unlocked in me this morning so much. Like, it's so simple, and yet we're taught to not do it. Not only is it imperfect action, not only is it becoming okay with taking action even when you don't know what to do. There's another layer to this, my friends. Oh, this is so good. You have to become in love with losing. You have to become in love with messing up. You have to become in love with falling flat on your face. You have to become in love with doing the wrong thing and it not working. You have to embrace with all that you got the L's as much as you do the W's. You see, that's what separates winners. We miss 100% of the shots that we don't take. If you're sitting around with perfection, waiting to do all the perfect things, waiting to do all the right stuff, and you're not putting nothing out there till it's perfect, I'm sorry, you've already lost. If you beat yourself up inside and rip your insides apart anytime you mess up, I apologize for whoever taught you to do that in your life. I'm sorry for the fact that you were raised, grew up, learned through conditioning to punish yourself when you make mistakes. I'm sorry, but that's the worst possible thing. It's the worst possible mindset. Why? Because it keeps people from taking risk. It keeps people from jumping out of the airplane and figuring out as they go. And for entrepreneurs, it's the greatest detriment to them ever going after what is going to change their life. You gotta love messing up. You have to embrace doing the wrong thing without fear of consequences, without fear of how it's going to pan out bad for you. And go after it with everything inside of you. That's how you put stuff out there and not worry. Oh, are they going to think this? Is this, are people going to buy from me if I put this out there? And oh no, I'm going to be devastated if I put this out there and it fails. First off, get over yourself, please. I mean that nicely. Second off, if there's something inside of you that you just can't break this, or you just can't put something out there unless you can guarantee success, work through that. That usually comes in from traumatic experiences, our upbringing, how we're raised. By the way, I grew up that way. I grew up beating myself up anytime I made a mistake. Anytime I messed up. That I wouldn't accept failure, and I thought that that was a good thing. That I thought that ripping myself apart anytime I did something wrong was the right way to live life. That was holding myself accountable. I'm sorry, but that's a weak way of living. That's a damaging way of living. Because you train yourself to never take risk again because you don't want to punish yourself. And you say, I'm only ever going to do things unless they're perfect. The pride and the ego take over. You got to rip that thing out of your brain if you want to be successful, my friends. You got to rip that thing right out and start to love losing. Start to love messing up. Start to love making mistakes without fear of consequences, without fear of how it's going to pan out bad for you. And start to take risks. Become okay with dropping balls. If you can do this, you can be successful. The most successful people on planet Earth will tell you this unequivocally. The people that struggle, the people that want to be successful, they're operating in this, I need to do perfect and I won't do anything unless it's perfect. I'm going to beat myself up and punish myself if I'm any less than perfect. I'm sorry. That just does not work. It doesn't work. What works is loving the process, loving, losing, loving, falling flat on your face, loving, messing up, becoming okay with things not going how you want them, not working out how you wish they could, because you did something, because you showed yourself and other people that you're alive and that you're going after it with all that you got. My friends, get past this perfectionism thing. Perfectionism is just insecurity that looks good because we're too insecure to mess up. If you can do that, nothing becomes impossible for you. That's my message for today. If you can get this in your head, your entire life will change. I promise you that. For everybody else, that this is, it's a journey. It's hard, right? It's going to be hard. Listen, you're not going to get it right away. It's taken me years to get this. And I'm just now getting it. You have to love the process and become okay with taking a risk even if negative consequences happen. And love it. It being a good thing. That's what takes you to where you need to go to be successful. Are you ready to do that? I'm ready to talk with you and work with you. Listen, take a risk today. Schedule a free 45-minute call with me on my website. I'd love to talk with you about your business, about your life, about what it's going to take to move you to the next level. You can schedule that call on my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com. We can talk about where you're stuck, your life experiences, your personal individual situation.